All right, awesome freaking news. If you either are on the inside and have been trying to pursue business of some sorts, have been a bit stagnant inside of your business, or like, because it can fit a couple categories. It's definitely feeling more like self-employed, definitely feeling a lot more based on your own self-creation. Okay, so you have the Muse, and then so far I pulled the King of Keys to start off this reading, and then I'm going to start pulling some more supportive elements for you as to like maybe what's been happening or some little key elements to take you as you continue. Some themes about it, I would say, like, stay out of your head, very much stay out of your head. So there is this like revelation that's been going on, I mean, for quite some time. I've seen it from the get-go. I got caught up in it. I think everybody, if you to some extent have, I'm going to use the term success, which is a very subjective term, success in the industry, you can totally get caught up in like how things are supposed to look and the romanticization of things, in which, you know, you have people that act like their shit doesn't stink and they make $11 billion every single week, but they don't ever tell you exactly like what cost is that at, you know? And then, yeah, if you're, you know, Grant Cardone and you have a team of thousands of people that work for you, yeah, you can pull in that kind of money. But you personally, like as a whole with your assets, you know, a business assets versus personal assets is two different things, etc. So a lot of things isn't always like what they seem. And I've been making a vow to myself, and I kind of had this relationship with the universe to be able to deliver you guys a little bit more like authentic version of like what it is to be human through this experience, because sometimes we get caught up in it. So, all right. So let me pull one more. This is usually revolving around money. So let's see if there's like an opening or if there's a heat of warning. Okay. Resentments came back up again. This was on the bottom of the deck. Okay. Fears and resentments. Okay. So here's where we're going. Okay. So we're starting off with creative ideas. Maybe if you've been at a standstill with ideas, they should be coming forward. If you've been pursuing something, or maybe it like plateaued, or you decided to step away from something, some new ideas should be generating, and or the ones that you've been having, you're going to be getting some like good yeses towards them to start moving forward. Okay. So this is definitely a good time. And so where is the universe saying how do we make this feel safe in your body? How do we allow this to be as fluid as possible? Because that's what you're looking to desire. When people talk about like the fluidity in their business and working 5 minutes and all this stuff, what they really are kind of spreading in that moment without even maybe noticing that they're doing that, especially if they're not in this industry, is the feminine energy and honoring that we don't always have to be physically inside of our business, which is where all these other systems and all this other stuff can happen, and all these other approaches towards business, like selling courses or selling, you know, ebooks or something. So the universe is trying to get you to hear, how do you need to move into that? So if you've been one that hasn't really been feeling the creative source, the way to get there is definitely, I would say, meditation and stillness. So they're saying get grounded and basically connect. So the universe is wanting to respond to you. The universe is wanting to gift you messages. So the thing is you have to be able to explore. Okay. And they have the word play, but they're saying like explore this, and you have to get over your own insecurities in order to do it. So example, they always have me teach through my own life, is one, you have to be able to go into the past in which you may have done things, you may have learned things, you may have shortchanged yourself or got caught on egoic, you know, trains and stuff, and you were having a human experience. And so you may have hesitation towards moving forward or finding gratitude in it. But this, finding gratitude, being intentionally in gratification while remaining silent, while remaining humble in the silence of all the experiences in which you've had. So actually they're saying like, all right, take a deep breath in, center yourself, and you're going to be right here. I am right where I need to be. I have been on the journey that I have meant to be on. It has been a roller coaster ride at times. At times it feels like, wow, I took a wrong turn, but we do that during road trips. And then it creates a story and it creates an experience. And sometimes, yeah, it can be shitty. And other times, like, it can bring you to places. And over this time, I guarantee you, even if it's been stagnant, even if it's been super still, you probably learned some things about yourself that you hadn't before. Can almost promise it. And then more than likely, you've had some ahas with people as well. and maybe even some of these disgruntlements that's been going on inside of yourself have some clarity. Okay. So this is where we're having to conquer the mind. Okay. Literally, because you have these stories and you have to find gratitude in them. So for myself personally, like even coming on here, making these YouTube videos like this, they are reading videos. And so years ago, when I first got started in online world, I was nudged universally to like get on video. And at the time, Facebook Live was like a huge major thing, and like there was forward momentum with it, and you could do it in Facebook groups and all stuff. The point is, I had hesitation towards it then. I had a bit of embarrassment behind doing this type of work. So long story short, I was totally okay with doing live streams, but I like to do live streams inside Facebook groups because I didn't want anybody to see me. So then I established a business that was completely inside of a Facebook group. And at that time and place, it worked really well for me. And then again, I got kind of caught up in the industry. I was really like, you work with all these coaches and you do all this stuff, and they have like this pressure to like charge more. And I was getting to the point where like a little bit I was charging more. I was increasing stuff. I was changing stuff. I was limiting my time with people. And I really started to feel super hollow. I really did. It got to the point where I ended up almost basically ending every single thing. About 90% of my business I completely ended, like deleting stuff, deleted email lists, deleted social media accounts. Am I saying to go do that or that you need to do that? Of course not. But I lost my creativity. And so then I went on an inward journey of myself to be able to come out the way that I have now, to be able to have enough courage, to have enough confidence, to have enough gratitude, to have enough fluidity, to have enough honor to my feminine energy as well as my masculine energy for when I do need to act, for when I do need to forego the fear. I had to do a lot. It wasn't so much about resentment about money. It was resentment about myself, which then caused money blocks, or I felt like I shouldn't have charged that, or I should have let that thing. I had guilt. I had a lot of guilt for myself. Okay. So resentment for me was coming and attaching to guilt. So then I had to go into financial fears of, again, my stuff has never really been about the lack of so much as much as it's been about rejection for me. Okay. Like my soul isn't here for like money stuff. My soul is here for this like connection and really being seen as myself. And it's a very vulnerable thing at times, especially when you have human journeys. So whatever has been in your life that's been maybe like a little hiccup in the past, was it like you weren't confident in your work? Were you unsure about what to charge? Were you undervaluing yourself? Because yes, there are times where people completely undervalue yourself, where, if all you're doing is say $22 reads and they're sitting on a Zoom call with you. Yes, it is. It's $22 an hour. But then if you look at it like an hourly job, you then have if you're self-employed, you got taxes still coming out of the stuff, and if you're taking home, an income, there's taxation that's involved. And the thing is like that can be intimidating to people, and having to deal with all of that. So sometimes like we shut down and we shortchange ourselves for that. And just give yourself the permission to know that through the expansion, you will find the way to the answers to the hesitations that you have. Give yourself that permission. Breathe that out. Even though I don't know what that is yet, even though I don't feel like I know all the answers yet, even though I haven't experienced this yet, what we don't want to do is live in the could, woulda, shouldas, might happens. Like, let's live in the now. Yes, let's be vigilant. I'm going to use the term loosely, smart about, the decisions that's being made. Don't spend more than you have. Don't business above your means. You don't have to keep up with the Joneses, because that's never going to work for you. Just to let you know. That's not your calling. If you're on this channel and have been led to this video, sorry. We, for whatever reason, our souls wanted a little bit more of a humbling, heartfelt type of journey. Okay. Now some of us have had some experiences along the way in order to get there. And the thing that you're getting over, really, in order to get to this place to where you can let go of the resentment, to where you can allow more in, to where your nervous system has been expanding itself this entire time. Okay. So the creative energy has been building, but you needed a container in order to hold it. You needed a container to either hold it. Like you might have needed the container to hold the visibility that's necessary for the mission that you're doing. That doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to be writing a Facebook post that you made, 8-figure launch. A business making 8 figures versus a person taking home 8 figures is totally two different worlds, by the way. And most people, of what they sell you is a freaking lie. Just an FYI. There's a lot of lying in the industry. I'm not saying that there's no truth. It's just that because you can't find the fine line behind things. And then you get caught up in the story of the person that sold the ease and the fluidity and the snap of a finger and the deciding, writing on a Post-it note, and the next day their lives change. More than likely, your life has not been going on that path. Welcome to the human experience. I'm Danielle. I'm here to help you. Okay, so breathe out everything that you've done. We're letting go what you've been, which I feel like you've been doing. So this is their kind of confirming golf clap. You've been letting go of the pride. You've been letting go of the resentment. You've been letting go of the decisions that coulda, woulda, shoulda been different. Who fucking cares? Here you are now. I know that I've became even more amazing than I was before, not in an egotistical fashion, in a fashion of I'm becoming better and better and better versions of myself that I didn't even know was possible. And I'm talking about like I have the abundance of feeling love and emotional, physical, sexual intimacy. Like that's grown with my husband more in this like off and on this last year than it had in years, And the thing is, my love with my children has changed. My love with myself, my love with how my business has gone. And what I've really allowed inside business is when I've gotten really super present, the creativity comes because I allow myself to be grounded. I allow myself to just be in the presence of what is. I know that I'm right where I need to be. Rushing anything doesn't change anything. Forcing anything doesn't change anything. Grasping onto stuff isn't going to happen if you're constantly like looking. That's not alignment. That is not a regulated nervous system. Okay. Like that is discombobulation all day. You just should be enjoying yourself as you go through this. So one of the things that I'm feeling for progression, if you haven't already, start like ASAP, move yourself. I'm not saying like a dedicated exercise practice. You don't have to look at it like that. This could be like if you have a little rebounder trampoline, do a little bit of that, swimming pool, just do some jumping jacks. Okay. Like dance around. Dancing is a form of movement, a form of play, a form of stimulation, a form of moving around your nervous system and your energy body. Like they're just saying like have a really good time with it. And if you can get outside in nature, at least from time to time, even if it's like we're talking like 3 minutes or less, just to get out, get a little sunlight in your eyes, or when the sun is setting, get that in your body, have the exchange, connect to the universe, feel as one, feel it in your soul as the breeze blows by, feel it in the messages or the birds that come through or the majestic butterfly that just kind of came out of nowhere and made you smile that day. You were so interconnected. You've been a co-creator. This has been the energy. I haven't flipped this deck in a while. It's been about the co-creation of yourself. Like think about it. Just take a second right now and realize like how different you are. You have to this is going to be the biggest difference that you've ever experienced to obtain the most peace that you've ever had in your life and the most fluidity that you've ever had. With that being said, it will feel brand new. So you've had to be able to open the container up to be able to withhold this so it doesn't just crash and burn like a few days later. Okay. You've already tippy-toed into this world numerous times. Now you're actually going to live it. And congratulations because it's awesome. Welcome to the new you.